Hey you guys, I'm Tashina.
I'm Porsha.
And today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to discuss unsolved cases that still hunt us to this day. So she's going to discuss hers, I'm going to discuss mine, and so forth and so on. So, are you ready? Let's get into the dark side of humans. Take 3. My first case is Jonbenet Ramsey. That still haunts me. So let's give you a quick little summary. So the early hours of December 26th, 1996? Yes. Patsy Ramsey reported her daughter missing from their home in Colorado. The cops rushed over, but by the time they got there, Jonbenet's dad found her little body in the basement. She was sexually assaulted, beaten, and strangled. I was 15 years old when this case came out, and I remember seeing this case and how this case affected me because she was in her home. She was supposed to have been safe, and she was violated in her own home, this little girl. And until this day, nobody knows who did it. Like, they don't even have a suspect. They thought it was the daddy. They thought it was the brother. They don't even have a suspect to even test out the DNA that they do have on somebody, which, I don't know, this really bothers me because you're supposed to be safe in your house. So crimes like that happens always gets under my skin, and especially unsolved cases that's never been solved, that there's no peace. The family didn't get peace. The little girl didn't get peace.
Who do you think did it?
I don't know. Honestly, like, I was leaning towards more the dad giving the little girl away to somebody or having, but I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know who did it.
I think the cult did it. I think the dad had dealings with a cult, and he tried to cut ties, and the cult was like, you ain't about to leave us high and dry, and the cult killed Jonbenet to put the dad in his place.
Can you guys be quiet?
Kids. Moving on. Yeah, I think a cult did it. I only think that because I watched this one documentary that said a cult did it. I don't know.
And I'm thinking,
I don't know who killed that baby. Honestly,
who I think killed her is, I just thought about it. They were having a party across the street, right? What if somebody from the party came to the house?
Sure.
Because they were in the house when it happened. They were at a party to the neighbor. In 96, it's safe. Leave your baby upstairs. She sleep. It's fine. Maybe somebody from that party. But the thing is, why wouldn't they test everybody that was at that party? Didn't they test everybody?
Maybe it's somebody that they don't know was there. Like, a friend bring a friend, a friend bring a friend. Maybe that's the friend of a friend.
And then they
so
just
they don't know who. Yeah, he's just like, it's a party. You don't know exactly everybody who comes to a party all the time. But,
true.
Mm-hmm. All right, so mine is not too old, and we talked about her before. I still, every morning when I get up, before I get out of bed and I'm scrolling on Instagram and stuff, I go check to see if she's been found. Kira Coles, she was like 3 months pregnant when she went missing in October of 2018. They still don't know where she at. Ain't no mentions of the baby. And the thing that makes it creepy about it is, like, she called off from work that day, the day before. Her and the baby daddy went to the ATM and took a lot of money out of the ATM. He was right there with her. When they went in the house trying to find her, he let them in or whatever. And then, like, the next day after they realized she was missing, him and his other baby mama up and moved to a whole other state. And now he's refusing to answer questions. And they have no reason to force him to answer questions because there's no evidence of any type of foul play. They do suspect foul play. They can't prove it, though. And there is a videotape where they were like, they thought it was her in her uniform going to work. And they let that narrative run to try to see if people would, like, say something. But the mom, like, last year was like, no, that was never her. That was another girl who worked at the post office or whatever, going to work in the morning. Her car was found unlocked, her purse, her keys, cell phone, everything in the car. And her car was parked, like, down the street away from her house, not in her normal spot. So I think the baby daddy did it, him and his other baby mama, because they just up and bounced. He worked at the post office with her. He quit his job with no warning, no nothing. And him and their other kids and the other baby mama just left the state. Just bounced. I wouldn't go missing if you just left and your baby mama that you were with the night before that's pregnant just disappears. Nigga, you did that shit.
Yeah, wouldn't you be concerned about your child? Like, and then they were checking the hospitals and stuff because she was going to be around her due date, and there was no sign of her having the baby or
no sign of the baby nowhere.
No.
Poor baby. So yeah. What's another one you got?
So mine is the other one is the Burger Chef murders. So yeah, 4 younger parties were working at the Burger Chef in Indiana. Jaden, she was 20. Ruth and Daniel Mark, they were both 17, and the 2 boys were 16. It was around midnight. They were closing up. One of them opened up the back door to take the trash out, and after that, nobody knows what happens. The next day, when the manager came to open up, the door was all open. The register was emptied out. Their bodies were found miles away from the restaurant by the high school, and they were still in their uniforms, and they were just executed.
They could have robbed the place and left them.
That's what gets me. And again, it's another thing that why these cases bother me so much. They're at work, somewhere they go every day, a normal routine, and you get killed there. That's scary.
Yeah,
that's scary because you always feel like I can avoid danger if I just don't go to these certain places, or if I don't hang out where certain things, I can avoid it. But you can't avoid it. Shit happens at your house, at your home, at your job. Like, it's that stuff scares me. And the fact that they were never found, like, what was the reason? Why take these?
What was the reason?
Because they took $586 or $586 from the register. If you were just gonna rob them, just rob them. And you remove them from so you forced them out of the thing to kill them, and they were still in their uniform, so it was no sexual assault. They just executed them. That still to this day gets me like, it was, and you know what? They probably it was just somebody probably driving through town. It was probably some crazy ass person that just want to kill people, just a serial killer or whatever it was, driving through town and decided to see the back door open and decided to just kill these kids. Those one was 20 years old. They're 16 and 17. Just at work, minding their business.
Cold world.
It is. That's why this case still gets me. They have no suspects.
So, another one of my cases is the Zodiac Killer. I know everybody heard about the Zodiac Killer. This motherfucker still ain't been caught. He's sending ciphers. He giving clues. He teasing the fucking police. And he's still not freaking caught. Like, I did just watch this one thing that said it's like myth of a Zodiac. Like, the Zodiac really didn't exist. That it was different murderers killing these people. But the cops were so bad at their jobs, they just put everybody all together in one instead it was a mass murder. I mean, a serial killer or whatever. I believe that nigga exists. I believe that it's the one dude who they thought it was. I think it's more than one though. I think it's like two friends going around doing shit because, like, somebody would die at this time and it was close to that time. So I feel like it's more than one person, and I feel like they're working together. But the Zodiac Killer has never been caught. They still don't know who he is. And that's just weird that you can murder all these people and no one catch you. Like, and it's years later. Like, I get, like, you know how, like, they catch the Golden State Killer later, BTK later, and all this shit. Like, you still haven't caught him after all these years. Or her. Could have been her.
Yeah. I believe there was 2 people, too, because he was, like, killing couples.
I think it was 2 people.
So I feel like there was 2 of them in there, and, yeah, that case kind of freaks me out, too. Because you're just chilling in your car, making out with your love, and then you get murdered.
Making out with your love.
A guy with a potato sack on his head. Did he have a potato? That's the one, right? With the potato sack?
We're not laughing.
No, we're not laughing at it.
We're laughing at him. The fact that you couldn't even afford a fucking mask. You fucking potato sack.
And when we laugh, it's just when stuff gets dark for us. We just try to lighten up the situation. We're not laughing at his victims or anything like that.
Yeah, not laughing at his victims.
No, we're just saying he had a potato sack on his head. Yes. So, mine, other case, is the Tylenol poisoning. So in late September, late September, early October, and in 1982, 7 people in Chicago area were killed or died
with Tylenol
for popping pills that were laced with cyanide. Somebody went into these stores, and it was different stores that they were getting these bottles from, and they were laced with cyanide. So one guy, he had like a chest pain. So of course you take Tylenol. He took out. He died. Then a little girl was sick. She had a fever. They give her Tylenol. She died. 7 people died. They didn't come. The only reason they even tied the Tylenol together.
Go away, Kyla.
Go, Kyla. Because they were. It was a couple. Like one took the Tylenol and the other lady took the Tylenol, and then he died and she went really sick, and then they, tied it to the Tylenol. But imagine if they didn't have many people that would have killed. And they never caught this person. So after that,
question the bottle being open.
It was sealed. Okay, back then, it wasn't sealed. It didn't have the cotton. It didn't have the. Now when we open it, you gotta pop that, and that's why it's like that. You gotta pop the seal. You didn't see pills, and then it was in a capsule form. So they didn't have that. And this was Johnson & Johnson. So they pulled.
Johnson.
So they pulled all the Tylenol. It had to be somebody that worked in that company or something, but it was. Yeah, it was all different. But the thing is, it was different batches.
It probably was Johnson & Johnson. I heard they was giving bitches cancer.
They still sell that. They still sell baby powder. But
could have been Johnson
that case is so scary because.
Don't sue me, Johnson & Johnson. I'm just talking.
It scared me because, like, damn, you go to the store to buy something. But nowadays, it's more, if that seal broke, don't take it. Mm-hmm. If you open up that top and that metal seal is broke, don't take it. But back then, they didn't have it. So people were just popping Tylenol for normal and dying from cyanide. You die pretty fast. And that thing was full of cyanide. So that's a good amount of cyanide that they put in that capsule.
So why the other girl didn't die?
I think she died later. Oh. But when they rushed her, they were able to tie that both of them. Oh. Why are they both? Because before it was different households of people dying, so they never tied it to what they took. But when those 2 people in the same household, they're like, what do these people have in common? And they both took Tylenol. So yeah, that case still they still don't know who did
it. All right, y'all. In West Philadelphia, not for real. I don't know if it was West Philadelphia. I just know it was in Philadelphia. In 1957, a boy was found in a JCPenney's box. Nah, it was dude was hunting in the forest and stumbled upon a box, and there was a boy in there, a bruised up little boy. But the little boy was clean, like there was nothing on him. His hair was freshly cut. They found evidence that his hair had just got cut, and he had bruises on him, and he was in this JCPenney's box. They looked up the serial number on the box. They found out it carried like a bassinet. So they tried to track it, to see who bought a bassinet in that area from JCPenney's. Everybody used cash. So there was no record of it. So then they tried to do DNA. Not DNA. DNA wasn't popping back then. Yeah. They tried to do all these different things to figure out who this little boy is. He had dead ends in every corner. So this investigator, he was on it. He didn't want to give up. He even got a fake mask of the little boy's face to see if anybody recognized the little boy or whatever. But they never figured out who this little boy was. They had assumptions. People came forward and was like, oh, my mom bought a boy and she beat him and all this other stuff. But there was no way to prove it, nothing. In 2003, they tried to reopen the case to see if they can find who the little boy is or what happened to him. Was not able to find out. They still don't know what was the cause of his death. They don't know what the cause of his death. They don't know who he is. They don't know who his parents are. They know nothing about him. He is buried in the cemetery, and he is named America's Unnamed Boy. Let me make sure I said that right. Yeah, America's Unnamed Child. And he's buried in the cemetery there. So if you guys are ever in Philadelphia and you want to just go show the unnamed child some love, he is there. And if anybody knows anything about him or anybody heard the story before, let's try to figure out who he is. Because this really bothers me that he doesn't have a name. He doesn't have a name or a cause of death. Like, that to me is just crazy that someone can be dead and we don't know who he is.
Yeah, I think they found his name. I think they didn't.
No, still don't got his name.
Is it another case?
I checked and it said 2023 they still don't have a name. So I don't know. I'll go dig some more maybe.
I thought I said
if they do have a name for him, leave it in the comments below so we can shout him out and give him some respect.
I'm pretty sure we will be corrected.
Yeah. Of course we're gonna be correct.
So the next case that bothered me, that just dark, is the case of the disembodied feet. So in October 200, that's October 207. October 2007, 5 human feet washed ashore on the Vancouver, British Columbia. No bodies, no head, no clothes, just 4 feet. There was 4 left and 1 right, and they were still in sneakers. Your food's in the microwave.
You know what? A fish probably ate, like a shark probably ate the body.
Yeah, their feet were still in the sneakers, so they never found anything but those feet. In this case, bothered me because some dark shit happened.
I don't think dark stuff happened. Where they were
sawed off. Yeah, and they were still in the shoe.
Because it was just feet.
It was 4 left and 1 right. Feet. So somebody was.
They didn't match.
No, 4 left feet and 1 right foot was found, and they did find 1 foot belonged to one guy, and he was being reported missing for months. So. That case has bothered me because it's like some dark stuff happened. Somebody
did
chopping
they find out
people
who the other feet belonged to?
No, they only found out 1 foot. It belonged to one person, and he was on a missing person thing. So that case, I was like,
that was a cult. I'm always blame cults.
I think
it's always a cult.
It's probably like cartel or something.
It was a cult.
But this isn't, where's this at?
There's cults in other places.
Yeah. This is in Canada. So, is there cult? I mean, there cartel in Canada? Anyway,
there's cults in Canada.
So, that's the case that.
Alright, so you guys, in the comments below, let us know which cases or anything you've heard of that haunt you or bother you, and let's talk about it.
I have one more.
One more? Gosh! Creepy monster.
So,
Freaky Jason.
My next one is the Icebox murders. So, June 23rd, 1965, a Houston patrolman went to do his regular visit to this elderly couple, Fred and Edwina. And when he got there, nobody was home. There's nobody home. And he was like, let me go in the refrigerator. Let me grab me a drink or something. So he goes to the refrigerator and he just sees a whole bunch of meat. And the first thing he thinks is like, it looked like they slaughtered a pig or something. And he looks down at the bottom, and where the vegetables are kept was a human head. And it was 82.
I'm going to cut you off. But when I heard Icebox murders, I thought like somebody killed them with the icebox. Like they threw it on them or something.
They put it in the refrigerator. So 81-year-old Fred and 72 Edwina. They were beaten. They were shot, and Fred's head was crushed. And it was later found that his insides was flushed down the toilet. Yeah, these poor old couple. This bothered me because they were old. They're minding their own business in their house, and you slaughtered it. Now, they do have a suspect of this. They think it was their 43-year-old son. Because after this happened, he disappeared. He disappeared. There's no...
They don't know where he
They can never find him. No, they never found him.
Maybe he did, too.
Or whatever, but that makes it even worse. You did this to your old elderly parents.
He did it to his mom. No, I'm saying he might be dead himself.
They never found any evidence of any other blood or anything. Because they were dead in that house for a week before they were put in that refrigerator. Poor people. Poor old people. Like, old people and children just get me. Because they're just so... Now, we don't know if they abused their son or anything like that. But you still don't deserve that. Just leave. You're 43 years old.
Maybe he did. Maybe he came back.
I don't know.
To settle the score.
But that case, it's so brutal. It's so brutal. Poor thing.
She just don't like it when old people get hurt.
No, but it's brutal. Like, you shot them.
I get it. I'm not saying I want them to get hurt, but
you chop them up and shove them in a refrigerator. Then why you flush his insides down the toilet? What he do to you? Why his insides couldn't be in his body anymore?
Person. Don't cover me in the comments.
No, but it's just.
I'm not laughing at.
No, we're not messing. We're not laughing
at the dead.
At Fred and the Edwina. It's
Again,
just messed up.
Cope with.
Yes, when it gets too dark, we just have to find a way to. And this is dark.
That's creepy.
This is dark. Poor things. 81 and 72. Poor things. But that's all I have for my case. So,
creepy shit.
Like Porsha said before, and if you guys like videos like this or you like true crime, don't forget to subscribe and comment and like and all that good stuff. And if you guys enjoy this, then we'll see you in our next video.